Hi students, very good afternoon. I would like to share the class video for this weekend because I am unable to take the regular class. So this is going to be the mathematical astrology third class in this series. So today we are going to look at how to read a zodiac sign using the mathematical astrology techniques. And in the next class we are going to do the chart preparation from scratch, right? Um, Before we get into the preparation of the or reading a chart, we should fundamentally understand what exactly the meaning of ascendant is and how to understand the ascendant, right? As we discussed in the previous classes, ascendant is generally calculated based on the sign that would be rising in the east horizon, right? So if you take current month, the month of October, um, Sun is rising in Tula Rasi, and Tula Rasi happens to be the debilitation sign for Sun, which we already learned in the the basic astrology, right? Now, if you look at this month, starting from the 14th onwards, we would see that Sun in the morning would be in the Tula Rasi until the 14th of November, right? Now, Sun would be moving throughout the horizon during the day, right? So, he is going to start in the east and he is going to get into the midday, he is going to be exactly in the up in the sky, and during the evening he is going to go to the horizon on the west, right? Now, assume that the entire zodiac, which is a circular area that you are seeing on the screen, is like a wheel, right? And the path of Sun is also called as the Vaishwanara Padam, right? And Sun is the Sanskrit name for, or the Vedic name for Sun is Vaishwanara, right? Assume that Sun is attached to this zodiac, right? And Sun, while he is moving towards the upward, right? By afternoon he is going to be exactly in the, during the midday he is going to be exactly on the top, right? He is going to even move this wheel as well along with him, right? So in the morning during the sunrise, you would see that Tula Rasi is rising, but every 2 hours the Rasi that is going to appear in the eastern horizon is going to change because this wheel is also moving, right? So from morning, let's say 6 a.m. is the sunrise time, then 6 to 8 a.m. we see that Tula Rasi is slowly rising through the horizon, right? Then 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. the Rasi which is next to Tula Rasi will be rising, right? So that's a model in which you would see that the various different rasis or various different ascendants that would be rising through the eastern horizon. So exactly in the evening time, the seventh sign, the sign that is opposite to Tula Rasi, which is Aries, would be rising, right, in the horizon. So that would mean that someone who is born at 6 a.m. or 6 to 8 a.m., right, assuming 6 a.m. is the sunrise time, will have a Tula Rasi in the ascendant, will be the ascendant, and he will have Sun in the ascendant. But a person who is born at let's say 4:30 p.m. or 5:30 p.m., because the ascendant has moved exactly 7 signs, you see that Aries is the ascendant for the person born at that time, right? But Sun still is going to be there in Tula Rasi, right? So Sun is going to be in the 7th house and is debilitated for the person who is actually born this month. So like that ascendant we really need to understand. So every day um, there will be 12 ascendants, and every 2 hours the ascendant will be changing, right, for our time zone. One of the concepts that we learned in the previous classes is the the concept about zodiac signs and the nakshatras. So total zodiac is about 360 degrees, and there are 12 rasis. Each rasi is 30 degrees. Now these 27 nakshatras have, each one has got 4 padas. So there are 108 nakshatra padas, and these 108 nakshatra padas needs to be divided, or they need to be spread across the 12 signs. So that would essentially mean that each zodiac sign or each Rashi has 9 nakshatra padas. And because of this, you see that certain nakshatras are spread over 2 Rasis, right? And on the left, you see that the model that I just explained, right? And because each Rasi has 9 nakshatra padas, each nakshatra pada is going to be spread across certain amount of the degrees, right? Similarly, each nakshatra is also going to be spread across certain amount of degrees. So I think that's mathematically you really need to understand for you to get to the bottom of the concept. So each nakshatra pada is going to be about 3 degrees and 20 minutes. So if you multiply 3 degrees 20 minutes into with 9, you are going to get 30 degrees, right? 3 into 9 is equal to 27, right? And 9 into 20 degrees, you are going to get exact 20 seconds, 20 minutes is you are going to exactly 3 degrees you are going to get. So that will make to about 30 degrees. So that's the spread of the each nakshatra pada. Ashwini nakshatra is 13 degrees and 20 minutes. Ashwini nakshatra has got 4 padas and each pada is about 3 degrees and 20 minutes. 3 degrees 20 minutes into 4, you are going to get 13 degrees 20 minutes. And the ruling planet for Ashwini, so each nakshatra has got a ruling planet which we already learned. And for Ashwini nakshatra, Ketu is the ruling planet. Similarly, for Makha nakshatra, also Ketu is a ruling planet, right? And for Mula nakshatra is also Ketu is a ruling planet. Now we have 9 planets, but we have 27 nakshatras, and each nakshatra is going to be ruled by certain planet. So that would essentially mean that each planet would rule about 3 nakshatras, right? And first set of 9 nakshatras, you can see on the screen: Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrigasira, Aridra, Punarvasu, Pushyami, Aslesha, right? And the cycle is going to repeat. Next set is going to be Makha, Purva Palguni, Uttara Palguni, Hasta, Chitta, Swati, Vishakha, Anuradha, Jyeshta, right? And the last 9 cycle is going to be Mula, which is Ketu, Purvashada, which is going to be Venus, Uttarashada, which is going to be Sun, Shravana, which is going to be Moon, Dhanishta, which is going to be Mars, Shatavisha, ruled by Rahu, Purvabhadra, ruled by Jupiter, Uttarabhadra, ruled by Saturn, and Revati is ruled by Mercury. So each nakshatra is going to be ruled, or ruling planet for the nakshatra is going to be certain planets that I described on this slide, right? So this is, I think, this model, I think we really need to understand for us to arrive at the mathematical astrology. So when we understand a chart, we fundamentally get the degrees of the specific planet, right? Let us assume that in a natal chart, Sun is in Aries Rasi, right? And Sun may be there in Aries Rasi 1 degree to 30 degree, right? Let us assume that for the native, Sun is in 12th degree of the Aries Rasi. Then we should be able to clearly tell in which nakshatra Sun is present for that native, right? So in this case, I told you that Sun is at the 12th degree in the Aries Rasi. So Sun is present in Ashwini nakshatra. So like that, we should be able to clearly tell in a native chart where a specific planet is there and which nakshatra planet is present, right? And then for a native, a planet can be present in any specific degree in the 360 degree layout, right? But the nakshatra lord is different, but we really need to find out which nakshatra this planet is also present. And this is going to be important model for us to derive at something known as divisional charts, which I think we are going to learn. Moving on to the next slide. So understanding nakshatras is going to be very important. As I told you, each nakshatra is ruled by a specific planet. And when a person is born, we need to really find out in which rasi and in which nakshatra moon is present, right? And the location of the moon, the specific nakshatra in which a person is going to present, is going to determine the Kala Chakra for their native, right? The Kala Chakra can be arrived at using Dasa system, which is mentioned by Parashara, which is called as Vimshottara Dasa system. So let us assume that a person is born in any of the Ketu nakshatras, right? What are the Ketu nakshatras? Ashwini, Makha and Moola. These are the Ketu nakshatras. So when a person is born in any of these three nakshatras, for the person when he is born, Ketu Dasha will be a starting Dasha. After that, the Kala Chakra for the person is going to continue throughout his life, right? Once he completes a certain age, he is going to get next Dasa, which is in the order, which is going to be Venus Dasa. After that, he is going to get Sun Dasa. After that, he is going to get Moon Dasa. Like that, while he is aging throughout his age, throughout his life, right? Certain planet Dasa is going to be running for the native, right? And each of these planet Dasa is given certain duration in the Vimshottara Dasa system defined by sage Parashara, right? And you can see on the screen on the left side, Ketu Dasha is given 7 years, and for a person who is born in Ashwini, Makha and Moola, Ketu Dasha is the Dasha that is going to start when he is born, when the person is born. And next planet Dasa in the Vimshottara system is Venus, which is 20 years in life in the entire duration. And for the people who are born in Bharani, Purva Phalguni, Purva Ashada, ruling planet is going to be Venus. So that's why the person will get Venus Dasa as the first Dasa in his life. Then next Dasa in the Vimshottara system is Sun Dasa, which is 6 degrees. And any person born in the nakshatras of Sun, right, ruled by Sun, Sun Dasa will start. So likewise, Moon Dasa is given 10 years, Mars is given 7 years, Rahu Dasa is given 18 years, Jupiter Dasa is given 16 years, Saturn is given 19 years, and Mercury is given 17 years. All in all, we get total about 120 years. So like that, the Kal Chakra for human beings is defined using Vimshottara Dasa system in that order, right? But then when a person is born in a specific nakshatra, he may be born in a specific nakshatra pada, right? Because nakshatra is about 13 degrees 20 minutes is what we discussed, and in that duration, in that entire degree span, person may be born at any specific degree, right? Then how does the duration of the dasa is going to be calculated or going to be laid out for the human being is determined using the mathematical astrology, right? Let us assume that a person is born in the second pada of a nakshatra. In this case, for example, let us say a person is born in Hasta nakshatra second pada, right? Then that means that when he is born on the day, first pada is already gone, right? So second pada is running. So accordingly, out of the 4 padas, 1 pada is gone. The 10 years duration of the Hasta nakshatra moon dasa needs to be prorated based on the leftover time in the nakshatra, right? And each of the dasa, which is this dasa is called as a mahadasa. It is again subdivided by sage Parashara into at least 5 levels, right? 5 levels is the total is divided into, and with the subdivision of a mahadasa is called as antardasa. It's also called as a bhukti, and antardasa is again divided into pratyantardasa, right? Likewise, up to the 5 levels, sukshma until sukshma dasa, Parashara, sage Parashara has divided. So this is going to be the very fundamental and most critical element when it comes to the calculation of the astrological results for a person applying Vimshottara system. Moving on to the next slide. So now let us try to understand the division of a sign into much more granular way, right? As we discussed, the size of a sign is 30 degrees, and each nakshatra is 13 degrees and 20 minutes, and each nakshatra pada is 3 degrees and 20 minutes, right? Now, when a person is born, as I told you, in the during the day, he is going to be born in a specific ascendant, and ascendant rising in the horizon is going to be for a duration of 2 hours. That means that 120 minutes, which is the time in the measurement of the time, right? So each ascendant, as I told before, is about 30 degrees. That means that for every 4 minutes, right, 4 minutes of time, 1 degree of the ascendant will be rising in the horizon, right? So let us assume that sunrise is happening at 6 a.m. in the morning, and until from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. one specific sign will be rising. That's going to be the ascendant for the native born at the time. Then for every 1 minute, for every 4 minutes, 1 degree of the ascendant will be changing. So I think that's a very critical element that we need to understand. Now, the degree concept in mathematical astrology is subdivided into something known as minutes and something known as seconds. That's about degrees calculation, right? Each degree is defined as 60 minutes, and each minute is divided into 60 seconds. That means that each degree will have 3600 seconds, right? That's a basic calculation that we really need to understand. Now, if you look at in the left side, you see a very interesting diagram. The Aries sign, which is lordship for the Aries sign, is Mars, right? Which you understand. It is divided into. It's got about two nakshatras and a third nakshatra pada. So Ashwini nakshatra is going to be fully there. Bharani nakshatra is also fully there. But when it comes to Kritika nakshatra, one nakshatra pada will be there in the Aries sign, right? That's how 9 padas, 9 nakshatra padas, 4 nakshatra padas of Ashwini, 4 nakshatra pada of Bharani, and 1 nakshatra pada of Kritika will be there in the Aries sign, right? Then the Ashwini again, which is 13 degrees and 20 minutes, can again be divided further, right? And it can be divided further in the same ratio as the duration of each and every Vimshottara Dasa period of each and every graha, right? And if that is going to be subdivision of a sign. First subdivision of a sign is going to be based on the nakshatra padas. Second subdivision of the sign is going to be take a nakshatra, take the duration of the nakshatra, which is 13 degrees and 20 minutes. Again you divide that into the weighted size of each and every duration of each and every graha in the Vimshottara system. That's why you are going to get a much more subdivision of a sign. So if you look at an astrological app, like for example Astro Sage, you find a table where it shows that each and every graha, the specific degree of the graha, lord of the so which house the graha is sitting, lord of the house, the lord of the nakshatra of where the graha is present, which is going to be sign lord, then nakshatra lord, NL they show, and then you are going to get a sub lord, and sub lord is what I am showing on the screen, right? Then you can even divide into sub lord. Now all that needs to be prorated based on the size and duration of the Vimshottara Dasa scale that is provided, right? That's how we can arrive at the calculation. So moving on to the next slide. So in the Vimshottara system, a sign gets divided into multiple granular level, right? The chart that we see, the first level of chart that we see is called as a Rasi chart, right? And the Rasi chart, each sign is 30 degrees in duration, right? But Sage Parashara has subdivided this sign into multiple other levels. He divided that into almost 60th size 60th partition of a specific sign, right? So when you divide a sign into two parts, we get something known as Hora chart, right? So you can divide a sign into 15 degrees each, then you are going to get something known as a Hora chart. And when you divide a sign into 9 parts, which is going to be 3 degrees and 20 minutes, which is equivalent to 1 nakshatra pada, then we get something known as Navamsa chart, right? So sage Parasara has divided each sign into multiple sublevels, right? And these divisions or by dividing them, we can create a new set of charts, and these charts are called as divisional charts, right? And each divisional chart would give specific detail about a person, right, who is born at a specific period of time, and each divisional chart is given a specific signification. And we know what is a Divan chart, right? Divan chart would give a person's body physical attributes and general matters, right? It may be at a very high level person's physical and mental dimensions probably we may get, right? But for us to really understand some of the nuances of a person, we need to really use one of these divisional charts. For example, if you want to find out the career of a person, so we need to use something known as the Dasamsha chart, right, where a sign is divided into 10 parts, right? And when you divide a sign into 10 part, we know in which 10th part of a sign a specific graha is present, and then we can arrive at a new set of a chart which is called as a Dasamsa chart, D10 chart, right? Similarly, sign can be divided into Navamsa chart, which is going to be 9 divisions of a sign. Then a sign can be divided into, let's say, 30 parts. It's called as Trimshamsha. That's going to be each degree. You actually granularly divide the astrological chart, right, into 30 parts. So you are going to get 1 degree, part. Each sign you are going to divide into 30 parts, then 1 degree you are going to get, and that can be used to really understand specific evils in the native's life and specific failures that the person may get and kind of bad lucks this person may get, right? And even we can get into 60th part of a sign, which is going to be much more smallest element that is given by sage Parasara, and it is called as Sashtiyamsa. Sashtiyamsa chart for a person is going to be very unique, right? And the reason why is that Sashtiyamsa chart is 30 minutes. That means that half a degree, right? Now we know that for every 4 minutes horizon is going to move by 1 degree, right? So the birth difference of up to the level of half a minute you are going to get using the Sashyamsa chart. So I think that's the level at which we really need to understand each of the divisional charts, and we are going to learn at least some of the divisional charts how to prepare, and at a very high level we will refer to the the specific formulas used for preparing the divisional chart. And to understand the divisional charts, we are going to refer to the book written by Tyagarajan sir, which is Mathematical Astrology. It's a very good book for each one of you to read and understand more about division of a sign, right? So now we'll do a very quick exercise, right? You can take a pen and paper and try to solve this by yourself, right? Let us assume that in an astrological chart, Jupiter is in 94 degrees and 10 minutes. You need to calculate in which Rasi Jupiter is present for the native, right? And to answer this, I'll tell you the technique. So it says that 94 degrees and 19 minutes, right? Each sign is about 30 degrees. So 94 degrees means 3 signs already have been crossed, right? So first 30 degrees is going to be Aries, second 30 degrees is going to be Taurus, third 30 degrees is going to be Gemini, right, which makes about 90 degrees. So the graha, which is Jupiter, has crossed in the natural zodiac, right, starting from Aries. It already crossed 3 signs. So it is in the 94th degree. That means that it crossed Gemini, it already moved into Cancer. So it is in the 4th degree and 19 minutes within the Cancer. Right? Now you need to tell me, if Jupiter is in 4 degrees and 19 minutes in Cancer, which nakshatra Jupiter is present? Can you calculate and tell me? Similarly, Mercury in the same example, right? Mercury is at 5s 17 degrees and 45 minutes. Here 5s fundamentally denotes that 5 signs have already crossed, right? And it is in 17 degrees and 145 minutes. So you need to really calculate starting from Aries, count 5 signs, right? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and you get Leo, right? All 5 signs across. So you are at the 17th degree after the 5th sign. That means that you are in Kanya Rasi, right? Kanya Rasi is 17 degrees and 45 minutes. Now you calculate and tell me in which nakshatra Mercury is present. Can you calculate? So now I will actually use this in some of the subsequent examples also, but you calculate and keep it, right? Similarly, Venus is at Libra 25 degrees and 31 minutes, right? Tell me in which nakshatra Venus is present. Is in the Libra sign, is in the 25th minute and 25th degree and 31 minutes. So you need to really calculate which nakshatra this specific planet is going to be placed, and that is going to be used very extensively in the divisional charts preparation, right? Without using an app, you can easily calculate the divisional chart, right? Now the second exercise that I will show you guys today is, so in an astrology chart, moon is at 24 degrees and 12 minutes in Gemini, right? And sun is at 7 degrees and 46 minutes in Scorpio. And how can you find, given the degrees of sun and given the degrees of moon, how can you find out the tidhi of the specific combination? Let us assume that a person is born with this kind of a combination. You need to find out what tidhi the person is born, given the fact that sun degree is given to you and moon degree is given to you. The simple clue I am going to give you here is, a tidhi, in the previous class I explained to you, right? A tidhi is going to be 12 degrees duration, right? So it is like a dial, right? Just look at that, there is a wall clock, and wall clock has got two needles, right? Long needle is going to be, let us assume that is moon, which is actually moving much faster. Small needle is sun, right, which is moving pretty slow, right? Now you need to calculate difference between these. So by calculating the difference between the short needle and long dial needle, right, you will be able to find out the specific time in a day. Same concept you can apply to find out what tidhi the person is born, given the fact that what is sun's degree and moon's degree. And for that you can do a very simple technique. Always take sun degree, and sun whether it is an advanced sign starting from the moon, starting from the Aries compared to moon, or it is behind. That's what we need to find out. So in this case, what happened? Sun is in Scorpio, right? So in Amavasya day, both sun and moon are going to be at the same sign, and they will be at a specific nakshatra, right? So they are going to coincide, right? Now in this case, they both coincided, and moon started moving pretty fast, right? So moon actually advanced. Parallelly, sun also started advancing, right? So if you subtract moon degree from sun degree, right, you are going to get the difference in degrees, right? And you need to really find out whether it is a positive or negative, and then add 360 if it is negative, and then you are going to divide it with 12 degrees. Then you are going to get the progression of moon compared to the sun, and you can easily calculate the tidhi of a person born. So you do it for all your birth charts, and you let me know whether you got the right tidhi based on your placement of the sun and the placement of the moon, right? So this is a given a fact that you can easily find out the specific tidhi person is born. And how you can use this technique is, let us assume that you get an entire chart, right? and the natal chart of the person is given to you, and you ask this person in the olden time, right? You get time of birth, and then you are going to get this nakshatra of a person, you get a date of the person, but you get the tithi of the person. Sometimes the recording is wrong of the time or date, or it may be, right? You would be able to use this kind of manual calculation to do some corrections, right? So all that probably you would be able to do if you know this technique, and this is going to be very important for you to understand how to draw the chart, right, using mathematical astrology. Now we will do this Tithi calculation for Lord Sri Rama's astrology chart, right? Now this is a sloka from Valmiki Ramayana, which describes about the astrological combinations when Lord Sri Rama was born, right? And this sloka goes like this, right? Tato yajne samaptetu rutunam षट्पमत्ययुः ततश्च द्वादशे मासे चैत्रे नावामिके तिथौ. So it's actually, this is that chaitra mase is mase chaitre navami tidho navamike tidho, right? So he is born in chaitra masa and navami tidhi. That's what Valmiki has recorded. Nakshatre diti daivatye svocha samstheshu panchasu, right? Nakshatra devata in which specific nakshatra in which Lord Rama is born is Aditi. Aditi is the devata. Swa Ucha samstesu panchasu. So 5 planets they are in this Swa plus Ucha. Ucha means exaltation. Swa means own house, right? Graheshu Karkate Lagne, right? Lagna is Karkata. Vakpata Vinduna Saha. Vakpati and Vindu. Vakpati, Vindu. Vindu is actually moon. Vakpati is Jupiter, right, in Sanskrit. Prodhyamane Jagannatham Sarvaloka Namaskrutam. This is the sloka, right? In this actually the clues are given as like this, right? The month in which Lord Rama is born in Chaitra Masa, and Tithi is Navami Tithi. Nakshatra is Lord is Aditi. Then there are 5 planets which are in the Swa plus Ucha, right? And Lagna is Karkataka Lagna, and in the Lagna itself Vakpati, which is Brahaspati, and Moon, they both are present, right? That's a sloka that is given, right? Kausalya Janayadramam Sarvalakshana Sangeetam, right? Kausalya gave birth to Lord Rama, and he is Sarvalakshana Sangeetam. He's got all the good qualities, right? Vishnur Ardham Mahabhagam Putra Maikshvaku Vartanam, right? So Lord Vishnu born as Putra in the Ikshvaku Vamsa. That's a sloka that Valmiki has described. Now let us try to draw it. Now I am going to explain to you how Tithi calculations can be used to find out whether the online astrology charts that you are seeing are correct or not, right? Now, so Punarvasu, if you really look at, right, nakshatra, and the nakshatra table you would have seen, right? Punarvasu is spread across 2 rasis, right? First rasi that is present starts with Gemini. Then it goes into 3 degrees 20 minutes within the Cancer. And for Punarvasu nakshatra, the Adhidevata is Aditi, right? So that's what is mentioned. So nakshatra is Punarvasu. From there you could able to find out. And even moon is actually present in Karkataka Lagna, right? And Karkataka Lagna, Aditi Devata is only for Punarvasu nakshatra. So like that, you can, it is derived that Lord Rama's nakshatra is Punarvasu. Now, there are so 5 grahas, right? They are in Swa plus Ucha, and if you really look at that, you find that, I mean, based on the simple mathematics, right? Saturn, Mars, Venus, and Sun. These are the, and Jupiter, right? And Moon. If you take them, right, Moon and Jupiter. Moon is in Swa, which is own house. Jupiter is exalted. Saturn is exalted 2. Mars is exalted 3. And Venus is exalted, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There are 4 grahas which are exalted, and one graha which is in the own house, which is moon, right? Then the question is going to come where sun is present, where Mercury is present, where Rahu is present, where Ketu is going to be present. Now Rahu and Ketu don't have a own house or Ucha houses, right? I mean, these are all later period of time. Many astrologers, many scholars actually have built separate division of opinion for the exaltation sign for Rahu and Ketu, right? Now Mercury and Mercury typically will go around Sun, so he will be actually in a specific degree of latitude when compared to the Sun, right? Now the question comes, assuming that Moon is in Punarvasu Nakshatra, is there up to maybe 3 degrees 20 minutes of Punarvasu Nakshatra, right, which is in the Cancer, where sun should be there if it is a Navami Tithi, right? So we need to calculate 12 degrees is the difference for a Tithi calculation. And if Rama, because Rama is born on a Navami Tithi, Navami means nine days, right? He may be born at the beginning of a Navami, exactly Navami Tithi started, or towards the end of the Navami Tithi, right? But eight days have already gone, 8 Tithis have already gone. That means that 8 into 12 degrees, right? 96, 96 degrees have already passed when you calculate the position of the sun and the position of the moon, right? 96 degrees have already gone, right? That would essentially mean that if you look at 3 degrees in Cancer, 3 degrees and 20 minutes in the Cancer, it is going to be 30 degrees, which is 90 degrees, 3 degrees for Aries, 3 degrees for Taurus, 30 degrees for Gemini, right? 30, which is going to be 90 degrees, right? And 3 degrees 20 seconds in Cancer. That means that when you calculate backward, a bare minimum sun should be there in Pisces, which is going to be Meena Rasi, right? So if you really go back and calculate, what you are going to find is, if moon needs to be there in Punarvasu Nakshatra 3 degrees and 20 minutes, and Lord Rama born on Navami Tithi, that means that going back, right, Navami Tithi spread is going to be 96 degrees to 108 degrees. That's the spread of the Navami Tithi, right? So that means that in the Pisces, sun should be present, and he should be present anywhere between 21 degrees off till end of Pisces. That's a present, that's a duration probably you can easily calculate, right? But in the online astrology, you are going to find two type of charts for Lord Rama. One chart you are going to find Lord Rama chart where sun is present in exalted, and sun is exalted and he is present in Aries. Then other chart you are going to find sun is not exalted but is present in Pisces, which is going to be Meena Rasi. Just look at, for a chart like Lord Rama itself, such a confusion is there. Who are we, right? All the rest of the people are male human beings, right? So their charts also, when they are prepared by either an astrologer or an app, there is a reason for error. Sometimes app may give a problem, sometimes astrology may have a problem. That is where each time you get a chart, better you verify the chart with mathematical astrology. Start with position of sun, position of the moon. Find out which Tithi the person is present. Just look at this spread. Start from there. After that, rest of the other aspects you need to look at. So that's why you always have to verify the correctness of a chart. And the reason why I am shown Lord Sri Rama's chart here is Maryada Purushottam, is because such a difference is there in his chart in the open online available versions, right? So always verify a chart using the Tithi calculations. Now moving on to the next topic, how do we calculate the running dasa of a person, right? We told you, right, a person is born in a specific nakshatra. That means that there will be a ruling planet, and the ruling planet dasa is the first dasa the person is going to get when he is born. And then how do we calculate how much dasa left for the person from the ruling planet, because the person may be born in any of the nakshatra padas, right? And to do that calculation, we need to find out the ascendant, and then we need to find out the degree in which the moon is present, and then we need to find out which nakshatra, right, rising in the horizon in the morning, and then we need to find out from birth time the nakshatra time, right? These differences we need to find out. And there are two formulas that are used in a very simple Almanic method for you to calculate what is dasha bhukti. It's a very simple manual calculation, right? Look at the Panchanga on the date, go to the specific date when a person is born, right? And you can find out either Panchanga, or if you look at the longitudinal chart, right, which is going to be the ascendant table of ascendants, right? I'll show in the next class the table of ascendants, how to use it, right? You need to really find out the where the moon is present and where the starting sign of the nakshatra on the day and what nakshatra the person is born. These three are going to be important, right? There are two ways you can calculate. One is longitudinal method, which is going to be more mathematical, using the table of longitudes, right? On a given day, take the moon longitude in the birth chart and subtract that from or from there you subtract degree of the birth nakshatra in the zodiac. Let's say moon is present for somebody in the, let's say 5 degree of let's say Ashwini, right? Then Ashwini would start from 1 degree of 000, right? 0 degrees 0 minutes 01 seconds of the Ashwini nakshatra, but this person is born in the 5 degrees of the Ashwini nakshatra. That means that moon is present in the 5th degree of the Ashwini nakshatra. You take the longitude of the moon there, which is going to be 5 degrees, minus starting degree of the Bharat nakshatra in the zodiac. So Ashwini nakshatra 0 degrees 0 minutes 01 seconds, right? So you subtract from the moon longitude degree of the moon minus the starting degree of the Ashwini nakshatra, divided by end sign of the birth nakshatra. So Ashwini nakshatra would end at 13 degrees and 20 minutes minus starting degree of the birth nakshatra, which is going to be basically the duration of the nakshatra you are going to get. By using this calculation, you can easily find out what is the quotient remaining for the person, and that is going to give the dasa balance of the person. And second technique, which is much more easier technique, is this is a more desi technique, I would say. Take the birth time of a person, right? And let's assume that the birth time of a person is about 8:30 a.m. in the morning, right? From the birth time, starting time of birth nakshatra in the zodiac on the birth date we have to take, right? Let us assume that 8:40 a.m. on a given day, the Ashwini nakshatra is present, but the Ashwini nakshatra is started at 7:30 a.m. in the morning, right? So you take 8:30 a.m. in the morning at which the person is born minus starting time of the birth nakshatra, which is Ashwini nakshatra, which is 7:30 a.m., right? 8:30 a.m. minus 7:30 a.m. you are going to get 1 hour you are going to get, right? Divided by end time of the birth nakshatra on the birth date. Let us assume that Ashwini nakshatra is there till 5:30 a.m. in the morning, which is actually is born at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. That means that evening is passed, night has passed, but early in the morning the following day, right, Ashwini nakshatra is present. Take that time till when Ashwini nakshatra is present, minus starting time of the birth nakshatra in the zodiac. So in this case, what happened? Ashwini nakshatra is started at 7:30 a.m. on the day is born, but it is present till 5:30 a.m. in the following day. That means that 22 hours is the overall spread for the Ashwini nakshatra on the day, right? So you got 1 hour in the top, which is in the numerator, and the denominator you got 22 hours. So 1 divided by 22 hours is what you got, right? That is going to be the bhukti. That's called as a bhukti calculation, right? 1 divided by 22 into duration of the Ashwini Nakshatra, which is Kesu Mahadasa, about 7 years. If you do this calculation, you get 7 years divided by 22, you are going to get, right? And then you are going to now divide the years into months, days, divided by and hours, right? Then you are going to get the remaining Dasa Bhakti of the person, right? That's how you can actually calculate. And I'll explain that with one more example. Now in this case, I took the chart of Sriman Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar born at on April 24th, 1973. Is born at 2:25 p.m. in the afternoon. Is born, and it's in India time zone, so it is actually Astro Sage calculation, right? So longitude is about 18 degrees 58 north is the longitude. Latitude is latitude is 18 degrees 78 minutes north, and longitude is 72 degrees 50 east. That's a latitude and longitude. So if you don't know the exact time of birth, if you know the latitude and longitude, the app can give you. You can actually get an option to enter this and get the exact astrological chart, right? And casting that birth chart of Sachin Tendulkar on the given time of birth and date of birth, we are going to get the various different planetary positions. Now we want to calculate the Dasha Bhakti for Sachin Tendulkar, right? Now to calculate the Dasha Bhakti for Sachin Tendulkar, let us look at the nakshatra in which Sachin Tendulkar is born, right? For that you need to find out what is where is moon exactly present. So moon present in Sagittarius, and moon is present in 25 degrees 17 minutes 42 seconds. So that's what you are going to see on the screen, right? Which is the third row in the sheet. Because I'm actually on the recording, I'm not able to use my digital pen to really mark you. So please bear with me. Just point to moon in the middle table. You are going to see that it is in Sagittarius Rasi, and it is in 25 degrees and 17 minutes and 42 seconds. It's a Purvashada Nakshatra, right? And then but the spread of Purvashada Nakshatra is actually 13 degrees and 20 minutes in Sagittarius, and it is starting at 13 degrees and 20 minutes and is ending at 26 degrees and 40 minutes in Sagittarius. So for us to now calculate, we are going to take the first method, which is going to be the degrees method in the previous slide, right? So we are going to take the end degree of Purvashada Nakshatra in Sagittarius Rasi. So you get 26 degrees and 40 minutes minus the time, the specific longitude of the native born, Sachin Tendulkar, right? So the specific place or specific degree at which moon is present, so which is 25 degrees 17 minutes and 42 seconds. So what you are going to get as a result is 1 degree 22 minutes and 18 seconds is what we got, right? That's a overall spread. Now for us to calculate the balance dasha, what you should do is you take that value, which is 1 degree and 22 minutes and 18 seconds, right, in the last row, in the last bullet, right, divide that with the duration of each nakshatra, right, which is 13 degrees and 20 minutes. So if you do this, for you to do the easy calculation, you can see on the screen right side, right, numerator I have changed to seconds, right? So 1 degree is 60 minutes and 1 minute is 60 seconds. So you get 360 seconds you got. Then 22 minutes also converted to seconds. 18 anyway seconds is there, right? So numerator is converted into seconds, denominator is converted into second. And then you are going to take the ratio and multiply with 20. You are going to get 2 years and 21 days is the overall Dasha Bhukti, which is leftover time for Sachin Tendulkar, right, in the Venus Dasa when he is born. So it's very easy to cross verify also. If the person is born towards the beginning of the nakshatra, the person is going to enjoy the entire Dasa period of the nakshatra in which he is born. But if the person is born towards the later half, which is the last pada of the nakshatra, maybe So if he is born in the last pada, 3/4 of the nakshatra duration is already gone when he is born. So he is going to enjoy only the 1/4, which is the last 1/4 of the nakshatra duration. So that's how dasha bhukti is calculated. Okay. Now using the same technique, let us see how to prepare one of the very popular divisional chart, which is Navamsa chart, and I am going to teach in a very typical Indian technique, which is actually described as Parashara. You don't need to you don't need to use an app to calculate the Navamsa. Looking at the D1 chart itself, you would be able to identify the Navamsa. So we'll do more examples, when I get online, right, through the screen share, and then I'll use the board and digital board and try to show that, right. Now Navamsa, as I told in the beginning of the class, is 1/9 of a sign, right. So 1/9 of a sign is going to be 30 degrees divided by 9. So you get 3 degrees and 20 minutes, right. So in a sign you get 9 Navamsas, right. And the importance of Navamsa is very critical. Navamsa is also called as Bhagya chart of a person, or it's also called as a D9 chart, and it's also called as a Dharmamsha, Bhagya, Dharma, whichever way you think, right. And the most distinguishable fact about Navamsa is going to be that it will actually tell the characteristics of the 7th house of a person. 7th house is also called as spouse, right, partner, life partner. So to really understand what kind of life partner the person gets, you can look at the Navamsa chart. Similarly, the relative strength or the real strength of a planet that is present in the D1 chart, we will know only in the Navamsa chart. Even if a planet is exalted in the D1 chart, but if it is debilitated in the Navamsa chart, then that needs to be critically looked at, right. And D1 chart is what person is visible, but Navamsa chart is what person is actually internally, right. So what exactly he feels for himself, we can tell looking at the Navamsa chart. And preparation of the Navamsa chart, there are 3-4 rules, right. So we already know there is something known as a fixed sign, there is a mobile sign, fixed sign and dual sign, right. Aries is a mobile sign, Taurus is a fixed sign, and Gemini is a dual sign. So like that, the pattern is continuously going to change. So what are all the mobile signs? Aries is a mobile sign, Cancer is a mobile sign, right. Like that, you looked at all the mobile signs, right. Similarly, you looked at all the fixed signs also, and all the dual signs. And preparation of the Navamsa chart is like this, right. Look at a specific graha in the natal chart. Let us assume that the graha is present in a movable sign. For example, the graha is present in Aries, right. Let us say for somebody, Sun is in Aries. Then you need to really look at in which Navamsa degree Sun is present. So you are going to divide the Aries sign into 9 parts. Which are the 9th part Sun is present, we have to look at. Based on which part Sun is present, we can map to specific house in the Navamsa chart. So that is going to be a very simple counting technique we are going to use. So for a movable sign, the Navamsa spread or Navamsa seeding is going to start from the same sign, and for a fixed sign, 9th sign from it is going to start, and for a dual sign, 5th sign from it is going to start, right. So for example, if a graha is present in the Aries, you start counting, in the Navamsa chart where exactly the graha is present, start counting from the Aries. Like that you are going to do, and we will see that as a simple example here, right. Let us say so you will see in the table below, right. Signs are spread as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right. And let's say a sign is present, or a graha is present in a specific Navamsa degree, right. So you divide first sign, which is Aries. Here 1 means Aries, right. You divide the Aries into 9 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, right. These are the 9 parts that you are seeing. Let us assume that Sun is present in the 5th part. fifth division of the Aries. Fifth division of Aries means what does it mean, right? Each division is 3 degrees and 20 minutes. Let us assume that Sun is present in 16.5, 16 degrees and 15 minutes, right? In that case, what happens, right? It is in the fifth degree, fifth part, right? Then in the Navamsa chart, start counting from the Aries, put in the fifth house, right? So counting from Aries, the fifth is going to be Leo. So in the Navamsa chart, the person's Navamsa is present in Leo. Let us assume that a person is born as Mesha ascendant, right? A person is born with the Mesha ascendant, and a person is born in the Mesha ascendant, Mesha Lagna, and let us assume that the person's degree of the ascendant is about 10 degrees and 30 seconds, 30 minutes, right? Then in that case, 3 degrees 20 minutes is going to be 1 Navamsa. So 3 Navamsas have already passed. That means that 3 degrees 20 minutes plus 3 degrees 20 minutes, 3 degrees 20 minutes, right? Which is about 9 plus 9 degrees 60 minutes, which is going to be 10 degree. And for this person, I told you, ascendant is present in the 10 degree and 30 minutes. That means that 3 Navamsas have already gone. So for that person, ascendant is in the 4th Navamsa, because 3 Navamsa are gone, right? 4th Navamsa. So in the Navamsa chart for that person, ascendant is going to be 4th sign, counted from Aries, because in this Navamsa is Aries Navamsa, right? You start counting from Aries. Then the ascendant for the person in the Navamsa is going to become Cancer, right? Like that, you can actually prepare, which is Karkataka Rasi is going to be the Navamsa Rasi, right? Like that you can calculate. But if the Graha is present in, let us assume that 3rd house, which is Midhuna Rasi, right? Now Midhuna Rasi is a dual sign, right? No dispute here, there, right? It is a dual sign. Let us assume that for the same person, in the Midhuna Rasi, 10th degree and 30th minute, a specific Graha is there. Let us assume that Jupiter is present, 10th degree and 30th minute for that person. Now 10th degree and 30th minute is going to be 4th Navamsa. We know that, right? 3 degrees 20 minutes is 1 Navamsa. So 3 Navamsas gone and it is in the 4th Navamsa. So because it's a dual sign, from that sign count the 5th sign, and from there you start seeding it. So in this case, the 3rd sign is actually, so now you are looking at the 3rd sign, which is going to be Gemini, right? Starting from the Gemini, count from Gemini, 5th sign, right? So you get Gemini, you get Cancer, you get Leo, then you get Kanya, right? Which is going to be Kanya, which is Virgo. Then you get, what you get? You got Tula, which is going to be Libra. And in the natural zodiac, Tula happens to be the, or Libra happens to be the 7th sign, right? And for a dual sign, which is going to be 3rd sign, start counting 7th sign from there. So your Navamsa seeding is going to start from the 7th sign in the natural zodiac, which is going to be Libra, right? Now for this person, the Jupiter is in the 4th Navamsa. So first Navamsa for a Graha that is present in the Gemini is going to be Tula, second is going to be Scorpio, third is going to be Sagittarius, and fourth is going to be Makara, right? So 10th house, 10th sign, right? So that means that for this person who actually got Jupiter in the 10 degree and 30th minute, Jupiter in the Navamsa is going to sit in the 10th sign, which is going to be Makara. That means that for that person, Jupiter is going to be unfortunately debilitated in the Navamsa, right? Like that you can actually calculate. So all the, easily you can calculate fixed sign, start counting from, look at the degree of the planet, find out which 9th part the planet is present. If it is a fixed sign, start counting from itself. If it is if it is a mobile sign, start counting from itself. If it is a fixed sign, start counting from the 9th sign from it. And if it is a dual sign, start counting from the 5th sign from it, and start just continuously seed the Navamsa. And the same scheme, if you really look at, right, if a graha is present in a which degree, right, in a house. So 3 degree 20 minutes is going to be first Navamsa, right, like that, you are going to look at. And if it is Aries, Leo and Sagittarius, this is actually easy to remember, right? The Navamsa always is going to start from Aries. For Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn, the Navamsa is going to start from Capricorn. For Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, Navamsa is going to start in Libra. For Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces, Navamsa is going to start in Cancer. This is also another way to really look at, right? Now we are going to use the Sachin Tendulkar's chart to calculate the Navamsa, right? Now in the case of Sachin Tendulkar, the ascendant is Leo, right? So Leo 7 degrees and 11 minutes and 31 seconds is the ascendant, right? And 7 degrees 11 minutes and 31 seconds in Leo is Makha, right? And find out which Navamsa it is. For that, very simple, right? 3 degrees 20 minutes is going to be one first Navamsa and the Makha. Then 3 degrees 21 minutes till 6 degrees 40 minutes is going to be second Navamsa. Then third Navamsa is going to be 6 degrees 41 minutes to 10 degrees is going to be the third Navamsa, right? That, like that, you are going to calculate the whole Navamsa scheme. Now in this case, um, uh, Leo is a fixed sign. So for a fixed sign, 10th sign from it is going to start the Navamsa, right? 10th sign from it. So, and for Sri Sachin Tendulkar, 10th ascendant is in third Navamsa. Now let's start counting from the Leo, 10th sign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? It's in this 10th sign, right? Now in that case, what happens, right? Fixed sign is going to be, yeah. So in that case, what happens, right? Ascendant is going to be in the is actually 3 degrees and 7 degrees and 11 minutes, right? So it is going to be so ninth sign, right? Sorry for I'm extremely sorry, for a fixed sign, ninth sign is a starting position for Navamsa. So from Leo, first sign is Leo, second is second sign is Virgo, third is going to be Libra, fourth is going to be Scorpio, fifth is going to be Sagittarius, sixth is going to be Capricorn, seventh is going to be Aquarius, eighth is going to be Pisces, ninth is going to be Aries, right? And Aries, so first Navamsa degree of Leo is going to be Aries, second Navamsa is going to be Taurus, third Navamsa is going to be Gemini, right? Now for Sachin Tendulkar, ascendant is in the 7th degree and 11th minute. That means that it is in the third Navamsa. That's why ascendant actually has gone to the Gemini. Let us look at Sun. Sun is in Aries, 10 degrees and 33 minutes and 56 seconds. In the previous example, I explained you, right? 10 degrees, 33 minutes and 26 seconds is going to be third Navamsa, right? And Aries is a mobile sign. And Sun is in Aries in the D1 chart. So start counting from Aries, fourth Navamsa, right? First Navamsa is going to be Aries, second Navamsa is going to be Taurus, third Navamsa is going to be Gemini, and fourth Navamsa is going to be Cancer. So in his Navamsa chart, Sun is in Cancer. Very simple. It's very simple. You can calculate. Now I want you to do for rest of the other planets and show me the Navamsa chart. Manually calculate. Because in the examination there will be a lot of questions asked on the preparation of the Navamsa chart, how to calculate, what is the seeding and all this kind of stuff. And it is if you understand this technique, it is very easy. Do it for multiple set of charts, and you send me in WhatsApp the Navamsa chart for Sachin Tendulkar, using the technique. Then I think I'll be very happy. In the next class, we are going to look at rest of the other charts as well. We are going to prepare the chart, real chart, and for that we are going to refer to 3 books. First book is going to be Mathematical Astrology by Tyagarajan sir. I think I already shared the cover page. Please buy the book. Second, we are going to look into the table of ascendants. I already shared the cover page. Please refer to that. Right. Third is going to be annual ephemeris. We can do for this year, next year, which are the ephemeris book that you have, right? You can calculate. But the first two books are going to be very, very important, right? So with this, I end the current class. Um, as I said, next class is going to be preparation of the chart using the more advanced mathematical techniques. And I wish you all the best. And thank you for listening or watching this video. We'll meet in the next class live. Thank you. Bye bye.